Hello and welcome to another episode of Milan on Cars. We're in a particularly unfriendly Cape Town today, although the weather has chopped and changed quite a bit. We have got the exquisitely beautiful Aston Martin DBS Carbon Edition here. This is number 17 of 100 ever made, and I cannot wait because I'm freezing to get in and give it a go.
Ideally, one would hope for clear skies and dry roads in a car like this, but these drastic conditions in this wonderful location made for a memorable drive. Aston Martin build beautiful cars for beauty's sake, and this has always set them apart in a world of cars dictated by numbers and performance.
One thing that a lot of modern supercars are losing is a sense of sort of style and elegance and subtlety, which Aston Martin I think really pulls off well. Even the DBS, which is Aston at its wildest, a lot of people think is a little bit over the top, but it is still a wallflower in comparison to your average Lamborghini. And even the newer Ferraris are getting more and more jagged and aggressive, as if in a constant battle with nature, whereas the Aston remains smooth and flowing and the lines are as beautiful as ever. The DBS in particular is probably one of my favorite ever supercars in terms of the way that it looks. Yeah, the DB9 is slightly more subtle, but I kind of enjoy the slightly more aggressive nature or look of the DBS. Aston Martin produce on average 900 cars a year, and Porsche 2015 delivered 225,000 vehicles worldwide. The numbers are insane. Some of the things that often fall by the wayside when anybody's discussing a car of this nature is just exactly what it takes to get this thing made. The paint takes 50 man-hours to apply to this car, which is incredible. You know, again, this comes down to the very low numbers that are produced every year. They're not producing 200,000 cars a year or 100,000 cars a year. I don't even think Aston Martin have produced 200,000 cars in their entire existence. DBS has extensive use of carbon fiber throughout the body. The bonnet's carbon fiber, the bootlet's carbon fiber, large parts of the doors are carbon fiber, which makes the car about 30 kilos lighter than the DB9.
Still weighing in at 1.7 tons, it requires ventilated carbon ceramics on all four wheels to provide stopping power. Despite a few finicky buttons on the center console, the accurate steering and immaculately finished interior make for a comfortably immersive driving experience, as is to be expected in an Aston Martin of this nature.
We've got in front of us, right in front of us, because they've actually done a very clever job of how they've managed to fit the engine really as far back as possible, so it's almost a front mid-engine car. It's a 6-litre hand-built V12. The engines are built in Cologne, Germany, at a dedicated manufacturing facility for Aston Martin. It's actually a 5.9 litre, but 6 litre sounds way better, and it's phenomenal. It's addictive, and there's my right foot is addicted to the floor underneath the pedal. And you'll be able to possibly just hear and maybe feel a little bit of the fury. So here we go. Oh my god, that's insane! This car is so good. That feels so good. You're gonna have to be a real stickler to find a lot wrong. The throw on the pedals is maybe a little too long. It doesn't feel quite as mechanical as one would maybe like. The gear shift is a little slow. Could be better, could be a little quicker. It's nothing compared to, you know, the gear shift on like a 458 Italia or anything else in a similar price bracket. Those the gear shift in the cars like that it's immediate. The fuel economy is shocking, especially if you drive it hard. The tires are really expensive. The insurance premiums are ludicrous. To say that the Aston Martin DBS doesn't have enough power is to entirely, I think, miss the point of what the car is about. It's not about outright brute strength, because then there are plenty of other cars that are going to give you that. You know, sort of on-the-edge, ragged performance you could get in a Nissan GTR. But this isn't a Nissan GTR. James Bond never drove a Nissan GTR, as much as I'm a big fan of the GTR, by the way, but it's just a fact. It's a much more gentlemanly approach to just conquering highway. I mean, the amount of ground that we have covered today in this car with such ease is amazing. That's what it's for. That's what at least I feel like it's for. I mean, I feel like I'm in a first-class cabin in a first-class jet.
Almost all DB cars built by Aston Martin have been beautiful pieces of automotive art. This Ultimate Edition is one of the last 100 DBS cars that will ever come off the production line. And just look at it. Who cares if Aston Martin don't build sub 8-minute Nürburgring cars? They build these. And I hope they never stop.